All right, we're here playing against Braden MTG. And we're playing the Amber Steel wheel deck that I played at SCG Philly. This was pretty close to Brendan DeCandio's list. He won an online tournament the week before. We're going to mulligan a bunch of our expensive stuff. We're going to hold on to Lantern and Ariel. We do go first, so turn 2 Lantern's pretty good, but we do want a 1-drop. Maybe I should put back Strength. But I kind of want to keep it as guaranteed ink and maybe interaction if I get lucky and has Cindy on one. Alright, well, we got some weak stuff. We're going to play Rockstar here. Kita is not one I had in my deck, but I do think Bodyguards are pretty useful right now. And I've been experimenting with a Stitch Rockstar build that I really like. Turn the bogs forward. Okay, I got disconnected. I don't know what happened. Alright, ink down. And then I think I'm just going to play Lantern. I think it's just like too strong long term. And if I play Kita, I think I'm just going to ink Kita and then play Ariel next turn. Oh, Rafiki! Braden's walking right into my future sweeper effect. He's playing Sapphire Amethyst. A color combination that I do not know much about. Otherwise known as purple-blue. Most of you folks back home. Alright, so we hit a whole new world. We'll plan on casting that very soon here. And force them to basically go empty-handed, and then I can maybe punish them with some other songs. The thing about playing against this deck is that you often need to balance fighting Whole New World and Grab Your Sword. Those two in tandem make it very difficult to play around things. Alright, let's go Ariel. We found the Grab Your Sword. And I think we'll go ahead and play it. That way we bust up the Chernabog, and the Mickey Mouse doesn't do much. And I think we just play Robin Hood as ink so that we can get Cindy and we can loot. And honestly, we can clear their board next turn. I think I'm just going to discard the Robin Hood. Clear board plus play Whole New World is kind of wild. Let's see if we can really get it done. Pop in the Jumbo Pop. Remove 2 damage from the Mickey Mouse. That means it's coming back. But getting more cards in hand just doesn't really matter. The Goat! Merlin the Goat. 3 cards in hand. Alright, so let's go. Think Strength or Raging Fire. Hit the Goat. And then I'm just going to play Beast. And I kind of want to just tack down Mickey. I guess I can go Sing to hit Mickey, challenge Mickey, ink Cindy 1, pass, and plan on just not even casting this Whole New World. We could have used it to gain plus some cards there. But against Sapphire, it's kind of dubious on occasion. Alright, now they have a bunch of cards in hand, but so do we. So we'll just play Stitch Rockstar. They don't have sweepers in their deck, so we'll just quest for a bunch. His hand must be extremely bad. I'm just going to ink this other beast since we already have Stitch. There you go. I just don't expect to get wrathed, so I don't really know what to be afraid of. And I'm ahead. So giving your opponent a bunch of cards when you're way ahead on board can only lead to combinations of cards that allow them to come back. At least that's kind of how I think of it. Alright, they've conceded. Next game. And I mean, my plan was to wheel, but then the way he played it made me not want to wheel anymore. Alright, we'll put back Beast and a Grab Your Sword. We'll keep the cheapers. And we'll just kind of ink them slash lead with like Robin Hood or whatever our shifts are. I'll play Kita as our ink on one, and then probably play Robin Hood since it has a cheaper shift. Nice. Now, there's a good chance I play Kita on 2 and ink this Stitch. We'll see what we draw. And also ink this Beast, but depending on how we curve, I like keeping some of our better long-term cards in the deck. In the hand, rather. So, Beast. We'll play Kita. I don't want it exerted. I'll just say go. 3/3 is pretty large. And maybe kill it next turn, but it's going to be difficult. Nokia here would be a little annoying, but just a draw 2 instead, and we're looking okay. Alright, so now I think we go... This is tough. I kind of want to keep strength to kill this 3/3, but we can't kill it this turn. So I think I'm going to ink it. I think I'm going to go shift here. I'm just going to go for a whole new world. This is something that I think I just need to get better about. Just whole new worlding when it's plus cards. And we can sing Bare Necessities, but I don't think it's worth, so I think I'm just going to pass. I'll probably just use it as ink. I mean, again, it's only turn 3. Like duck mana. Alright, so they're going to gain 2 a turn, and I got to do stuff about it. Let's ink the Bare Necessities, and I'm going to play Along Came Zeus, destroy this thing, and let's take a look at my grave, because I can get back Rockstar or Baby Stitch. I can also play Robin Hood into Robin Hood this turn. I think questing here makes some sense, even if they have a haste thing. Still not that bad. I think I'm just going to play the Hades, and we're going to get back Rockstar. And I will quest. Because we can always punish the haster with Robin Hood. Rabbits. Can't even kill the McDuck Manor here. We can't hold New World again, and they have, what, 3, 6 in hand? Alright, let's go Ariel. Gonna grab your sword. I think I'm gonna play Robin Hood. I think I'm going to sing Storm. I kind of want to kill the Merlin, but I kind of just want to wheel instead. Cool, and I found a 1-drop. And I already have a Robin Hood, so I'm going to play Stitch. And I don't mind a quest, since this doesn't kill. And now we try to win the game. We can push damage on the McDuck Manor to not die. Pawpsicle to heal. My hand is actually pretty bad after this wheel, though. The Ariel could make it a lot better if I get a lucky hit. Hades also not bad, and we can go Lantern Hades, we can go Lantern Ariel. I think we'll probably just hard cast Cindy, but we might play a baby Cindy first. Hogsworth? Okay. I mean, that just makes the Merlin survive longer, and my Kita is ruining his life. Questing. Okay, so now we have to be challenging here. And we can't kill this because it has ward. This can knock out McDuck, though. We can do it for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Quest for a lot. Start with Ariel. Like, only protects characters. you know. All right, we'll go. This is a tough turn. Pop this McDuck for 5. Send in the Knuckleheads to kill it. We'll go Robin Hood on Rabbit. He'll kill it and gain me some lore. And we will gain. And I think I haven't played Ink yet, but I can play 2 more characters here. And I think Strength of Raging Fire has to be the Ink so that I can shift Cindy next turn. I'll just get rid of Lantern. And I'll play a Cinderella 1-drop. Here we go. It's a long turn, but pretty complicated. Now they can go Rafiki, jam into my Kita, but I'm so fine with that. It's just not a big deal. The Cogsworth can finish it off, but then it's exposed. Another McDuck. We can kill that before it gains anything, though, so that's fine. And we know that they don't have any reset buttons because they don't exist in their color combo. Alright, so this is free. Other than going at McDuck. We can go shift onto the 1-drop Cindy. And quest for 3. Oh, I just conceded. Okay, 2-0. So here's the thing, man, and this is probably obvious to you, and I don't know if it was necessarily obvious to me until recently, but when I know that there's no grab your sword tinker combo or be prepared, the way that I play the game is drastically different, and it's fearless, right? I know that there's no comeback mechanism in that color combination, and so my default in deck building and in approaching the metagame is such that I don't think that color combination can exist.
Yeah, so this deck exists to kind of like farm those decks, if that makes sense. So there's like, you can be on kind of 2 positions, right? Like you can be a mid-range deck that like commits to the board enough that it forces them to like spend their turns killing your stuff, or you can be the person who's killing everyone's stuff, or you can kind of like play in the middle there. This deck is like, what if the entire, like this deck's kind of theory I think is like, what if the entire metagame is decks that are trying to kill everything every turn, and you just play a deck where every card cantrips, and you just always have a ton of cards in hand, and you have a diversity of threats that are difficult to all answer at once. So if I have a Cogsworth and a McMansion in play and a Goat in play, like those are 3 different axes of the game that this deck is trying to like force you to answer. Mm-hmm. And Amber Steel is just so good at applying pressure while killing everything and invalidating card advantage through the wheels that like this deck just like cannot beat it. It's like
no, it did feel pretty bad, but I do appreciate you running up against my Amber Steel deck there. I like the way that you're explaining drawing cards and having a large hand against decks that play a whole new world, because I'm able to leverage all of my resources very quickly and aggressively early on, and then using the wheels to invalidate those extra draws that you had. That's a really great point.
Yeah. So it's a very fun deck to play as long as you know you're playing against like the Ruby Amethysts of the world or the Ruby Sapphires of the world. Yep. But once you start playing into Steel decks, it's a pretty problematic matchup.
Now, I think that's one reason, though, why the Amethyst Ruby decks are so successful is because they have a lot of that thing you're talking about, the ability to play long games via Merlin Rabbit and Friends on the Other Side and Maleficent to just draw a bunch of cards. But then they do have the top end and they have the reset buttons to kind of leverage those extra cards. But they also have the ability to play the really low to the ground defensive or aggressive game plan, thanks to the addition of Chernobog's followers, but a number of other aggressive early elements as well.
One way to look at those like 2 decks, Ruby Sapphire and Ruby Amethyst is that they're both Ruby decks and that they play these catch-up cards like Be Prepared or Medusa and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then they play some card advantage engine like the Bounce package or the Pawpsicle package.
Mm-hmm.
And this deck is just saying, I'm not going to play any of the catch-up cards. I'm just going to play the card advantage engines and hope that's good enough. And I actually do have a positive record with this deck, like on the Pixelborn ladder.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
Most
when
promising.
like, so that it's like when I'm at like it's 1 a.m. and I'm playing against like the same 3 people playing Ruby Amethyst over and over again, and
Yeah.
I just pull this deck out, and it's like, okay, I'll have some fun games.
All right. Well, Braden, thanks again for playing some games with me, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, see ya.